What's up, everybody? Welcome to another banger of a video. Make sure to like and subscribe and smash that like. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. Wouldn't that be awful if that's how I actually spoke? Hey everybody, Robbie with Robbie's Reptiles. Today we're going to be talking about my most recent pickup, and that's going to be my visual axanthic ready to breed male.
I see a red door and I want it painted black.
Almost ready to breed. So about 2 months ago, I saw that a company named Gecko Island posted this visual axanthic male for sale. So at the time of this video, I got this male for a steal at 23 grams for $18,000. Usually a close to RTB visual axanthic would probably go for around $25,000. So axanthic is a recessive trait. This is a visual axanthic. So that means that he has 2 copies of the gene, so that he actually has some sort of phenotypic expression. I'm gonna wait until he's about 38 grams before I breed him. Probably by fall this year, I'm gonna be breeding him to my female cappuccino first and foremost. I'm really excited about that because there's not many people that are even focusing on het axanthic cappuccinos, let alone axanthic cappuccinos. When it comes to the cappuccino market, everyone is starting to, everyone's bought them now in America, or at least the big breeders have bought them, they've got them all. Everyone's going to try to make supers and everyone wants to cash out on supers. But nobody's going to be focusing on soft scale cappuccinos or het axanthic cappuccinos, axanthic cappuccinos, het axanthic frappuccinos, etc., etc. But what I am really excited to pair this visual axanthic male to is going to be a lot of my patternless red females, because there is a big lack in the market for red het axanthic. And I think that eventually, for the near future of the Crested Geckos, say in the next 5 years, we're going to be ending up getting, let's say, a really nice red harlequin that is also het axanthic. Or we might be getting really nice extreme harlequins or really nice lily whites that also happen to be het axanthic. Het axanthic is going to eventually become just like a staple so that you can incorporate it into more projects. And like I've been telling everybody, the new goal of the Crested Gecko market isn't just to make, a really high pattern gecko. Now it's going to be genetic stacking. So there's going to be a very high demand for het axanthic frappuccinos or visual axanthic frappuccinos, het axanthic Cirocs, etc., etc. Being able to acquire all these genes whenever you can. If you buy them as a baby, you're going to get them a lot cheaper, grow them up, so that within the next 5 years, you can start playing a role in that genetic stacking. If you look at the ball python market as an example, they have ball pythons that have 5 codominant genes, all visual and representing at the same time. Once you get to that level, then you compare that 5 gene codom or 5 codom gene visual to another ball python that has 5 genes that are all representative and have an actual phenotype. And then you end up getting, like 1 in 512 different types of offspring that you can get. And then you start trying to really play the lottery there. It's like, oh, okay, well, what if I can get, for example, what if I can get an albino het axanthic Ciroc that is also something else that's codom, you know what I mean? But the main reason that I wanted to get this visual axanthic male is not only to make a lot of het axanthics, but I have a huge problem with people just hashing out possible hets. Now, I understand if you pop out a 66% possible het. I just think that when you are making possible hets, you really can't let it influence the pricing that much past what a normal version of that gecko would cost. Like if you're trying to sell a 50% possible het lily white, I think that it should really just be the same price as a normal lily white, because otherwise you're going to be making a gecko that is a gamble. People that aren't educated might buy into it. I just don't think that it's what we should be doing. I think that it's kind of irresponsible breeding and kind of just trying to, make them to make them and then try to sell them. So for me, I knew I would never get into the axanthic projects until I had this opportunity, because I knew I needed a visual axanthic. I never wanted to make possible hets. Being a recessive trait, it's going to be a much more sound investment than something like a codominant trait, because someone that buys a codominant cappuccino for $25,000, let's say, that's ready to breed, covered in Dalmatian spots, they're going to breed it to every single one of their, let's say, 10 females. Each one of those 10 females will lay about 8 babies. 4 of those will end up being cappuccino. 4 times 8 is, hold on, I don't know. 4 times 10 is 40, and then minus 4. 32 cappuccinos mathematically. Each one of those cappuccinos can sell for about $8,000 in the American market. So then you can start really turning around a profit really quickly with codominant traits. But with the recessive gene, you have to breed them together, and then you have to raise up those kids, and then they're not even going to be visual, they're going to be hets. And then if you do want to create visuals, you have to breed those back to the parents, or go far enough to buy another visual from a different breeder that is unrelated, even though all recessive traits that have been, mass produced are related, because we aren't able to find an unrelated Axanthic unless you get like the Altitude Exotic line and the MSL line and then cross them, which we're not sure if that's even compatible, but you see my point. The implication is that there's going to be a larger time commitment, and that's going to steer away people that are just really trying to make some money rather than really trying to improve upon the hobby and the Crested Gecko colors and everything like that.